What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dice House and their DCO commentary. Today I'm bringing you my final. I'm finally bringing to you guys my Earth tanking loadout guide. And sorry again, this is taking so long. Like I've said, though, I've had some pretty bad raid experiences trying to get her through some a raid and everything, so I could bring this loadout guide to you. I want to preamble this. This is, my own personal loadout that I like to use. I'm sure there's other loadouts out there that people like to use, uh, and there's probably people out there who have tanked a lot more with Earth in PVE than I have. So this is, like I said, this is just what I use. Is what I've found to be pretty successful for me. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here at our loadout, though. We'll go over here real quick, see what we got here. Of course, we have Epicenter right here. This is very much like Backdraft for fire. It does a nice, very, very awesome pull move that will pulls in all the enemies in close to you and all that. And also helps to get aggro for you while you are tanking. The next up is Earthen Grip. Now, the power interactions with this is, crushes enemies, making them vulnerable to crushing effects. This is a nice little power interaction for your DPS or your controllers out there. For yourself, though, not really something you got to worry about. As a tank, I want to stress this, as a tank, you don't really need to worry about what kind of power interactions your own powers have with each other. Simply because your job is to grab aggro, hold aggro, and make sure that none of the ads are chasing down any of your teammates. Which Earthen Grip is a very good power to use. You see an ad off in the distance there. It's chasing down your healer, DPS, or controller, and all that. You just switch target real quick, grab hold of him, pull him back, and he is all yours. Now, with Earth and everything, Earth is known for its aftershocks. The more aftershocks you get, the better damage absorption you have. That's the benefit of Earth tanking. For my own personal aftershock power that I use is Gemstone Shield. Now, the reason why I use Gemstone Shield instead of the very popular Jackhammer there is simply this. You'll see here that with Jackhammer, just like with Gemstone Shield, the first three aftershocks grant additional damage absorption when damage shift is not active. Okay, that's a good thing. The only issue I have with Jackhammer is, and I'm guilty of this too, but I've seen a lot of other tanks, Earth tanks, do this. There's a tendency to just keep jamming away on that square button and getting those aftershocks even after you do the first three, and that just burns up power. And as a tank, wearing tank PvE gear, you do not have any power stats at all on your tank gear, unless of course you use any power mods that you put onto your gear. So that's why I prefer to use Gemstone Shield. The reason why I prefer to use Gemstone Shield is you can still use the square button there to get your extra aftershock effects, but when you get that final aftershock, just like it says there in the description there, you get that final aftershock, it will damage enemies. Well, that also stops you from doing the aftershocks. That's why I prefer to use Gemstone Shield and why I recommend it over Avalanche for when you're tanking, simply because that way you're not burning up a lot of power. The next power I have here is called Reinforce. In tank role, it protects the group member with the lowest health percentage by transferring a portion of their incoming damage to you. This is the power that puts the big rock fists on your tune, and if depending on who the person in your group is that has the lowest health percentage, it'll put what looks like kind of like a low rock armor on them to let them know that they've got that extra protection and everything, but the damage is going on you. So when I tend to try and do most of the time, if I'm going to go and use Reinforce, I try to make sure that I've got Gemstone Shield up. That way I've got that extra damage absorption for myself while I am, absorbing extra damage that's being done to somebody else. Localized tremor right here is a good tanking move right here. It's a good move to maintain aggro. Does not cost a lot of power. Works a lot like Flashpoint basically, and Flashpoint is a fire power, and it does very well to maintain your aggro. And one of the things I like to do when I am tanking, especially a large group of ads, is I will try and get into the middle of them. There, I will hit epicenter to pull them all in, and then I will use localized tremor immediately after that, just to make sure that I've got that aggro on everybody all the ads that I've pulled in. Now, real quick, I want to make a note right here. I have been testing this loadout here and there throughout the game. This one right here, though, well, for a while at least. This supercharge right here, the envelop supercharge, 35% supercharge, puts you in a protective rock crust that quickly heals you and knocks down enemies. It's a decent supercharge. It's a decent heal. Honestly, though, I would not recommend using this supercharge though, and when you're tanking PvE. Simple reason is this: when you use this supercharge, you get encased in that big, rock crust and everything. You cannot use any of your powers. This also, while it may knock down your enemies, if you use this like when you're in the middle of a boss fight and that boss hits you, you're gonna go bouncing all over the place. So I really don't recommend envelop as a supercharge. I know I've got my loadout right here, but I plan on going and respecing my character here shortly, just to make sure that I don't have it anymore. For supercharge, I highly recommend that you instead go and you go into the iconics here and you pick up Word of Power. Word of Power right here. 50% supercharge, summons the lightning to knock back and stun opponents while healing you and restoring power to you and up to 7 group members. It's a very good supercharge to use for everybody. The animation's slow. You can clip the animation though with another power. There's several powers that you can do this, clip the animation with. It's slow but of course, the actual power that goes out to the group doesn't take effect until the end of that animation cast time. So you want to keep that in mind when you're getting ready to use Word of Power, in order to make sure that you're getting that power out to the group when they need it. That's one of the reasons why communication is very key for doing anything in this game, whether it's PvE or PvP related. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be asking about, why I don't use any of the pets, any of the totems, the golems and everything. Well, there's some things, I've got some issues with the golems in this game. They haven't been very reliable from what I've understand in the past. I'm not sure how they work now, how well they do. I've done some testings with the golem, but this was back when at launch. Well, not really at launch, but when the DLC was first released, and the power was relatively brand new. So I haven't really done much testing with the golem since then. From what I understand, though, they still do work decently. I prefer not to have something in my loadout though that I cannot use to try and maintain aggro or do any kind of pull to keep ads off of my teammates though. However, if you're going to use the golem, you definitely want to make sure you have damage shift in there. It transfers a portion of your incoming damage to the summon golem, and you want to make sure you've got the summon brick golem. The brick golem will help you to attack enemies, taunting them if your health falls below 40%. That's my main issue with the golems, though. Seriously, is the fact that your health has got to be below 40% in order for the golem to start doing what it's supposed to be doing. If this was to be raised up a little bit more to say at least 50%, I could possibly see the golems being a little bit more worth using in PvE. Excuse me, but until then, It's not something that I really want to make any use out of. To be honest with you, it's not favorable to me. But let's go ahead and I do have a raid for you guys to watch here and everything while I'm doing it, and I'll talk a little bit more about tanking as soon as we get in there.
The Phantom Zone, Zod.
Okay, so what we're going to be seeing here is the very first boss fight of FOS 2. I'm able to get together with guys from my league. Did a full league run on FOS 2 last night and had a lot of fun. As you see right there, I started off with Gemstone Shield. That can also get some aggro on a single target that hits after you get that last aftershock. Once again, though, key is, like I said, the reason why I use Gemstone Shield, though, is to make sure that I don't, just keep jamming away on that square button and keep burning up power that, everybody else is going to be needing in the group. To help out, though, with the power, like I've said before with my fire tank and everything, I recommend Dom and Power 2 mods for your gear. Dominance, of course, gives you extra defense for an earth tank. Every point of dominance you have, you get an extra point of defense. The power, though, is it's just to help out. It gives you a little bit extra power to have, so you don't have to worry about running out. If your controller's having a hard time keeping power out for everybody, or you've had to use a lot of power, or you have to use a lot of power to get control of the ads and everything in the group. I highly recommend that you use dominance and power mods. Like with my fire tank, though, I only use dominance and power 2. For earth, I mean, if you got access to dominance and power 3, I'd recommend doing that. Simply because fire, you get like 2.2 health for every point of dominance, but with earth and same thing with ice, you only get the 1 point of defense per point of dominance. So, but with the aftershocks and everything that earth gets, it does kind of equal out. Now here's what I'm going to show you guys right here. This is the bridge. This is where I always go whenever I'm tanking. I do the same thing with my fire tune. I'll sit here and I'll hit, it usually takes about 1 or 2 backdrafts right there. With my fire tune, I do use low pressure, though, as a group pull. Works very well in the same situation. Now we're going to sit here and you'll see they're coming up here at the rock. This is where I always go right after I'm waiting for them to bring the crystal up. However, our guys got overwhelmed back here a little bit, so I came over here to try and get these ads off. And then unfortunately, the guy who was carrying the crystal dropped it and it fell off. So me pulling those ads off of there actually didn't help very much. However, we did actually, as you'll see here, we did manage to pull this out. Once again, main job right here is to try and keep the ads off of everybody, so that's what I'm doing. Fortunately, we've got, my league, and we've got a great group of guys in there who are, very good at doing their job and keeping me healed up. Right here, as you'll see, I grabbed that first sentry, pulled him back there in that ledge. You pull him back there on that ledge, and they're usually going to stay stuck back there. You'll see here, I'll get a hold of this second one here in a second and get him kind of, no, not quite yet. Alright, there we go. Alright, both sentries stuck behind that ledge. They can't go any further. You don't have to worry about killing them. I don't know where this third sentry came from, but fortunately, we, like I said, got some good DPS who were able to take it. Right here, this is where I made a little bit of a mistake right here. I was trying to help out, get this sentry out of the way there, get him down in this little cavern right there, and I screwed up. That's one thing you gotta be careful about with Earth and Grip, is when you do a pull like that, sometimes it'll pull them not only towards you, but back and behind you as well. and I accidentally pulled that guy over there right next to the crystal, and fortunately I was able to get turned around and get a hold of him and yank him back again. Right here is the Jor-El boss fight. You'll see that it's pretty much just a tank and spank fight here. As I'm sure most of you have been through FOS2 know. Uh, of course, your job as the tank here is to, try and keep aggro on the boss, keep him from attacking everybody else on your teammate, and then, when the ads spawn up, try and make sure that you're tanking them as well and keeping them off of everybody. As you'll see right there, I did my epicenter attack to get them all pulled in there. Grabbed another one I thought may not have gotten a hold of. Grabbed hold of him with Earthen Grip, got him in close, and then of course you use the localized tremor to make sure that you've got aggro on them. And then of course whenever the gemstone shield is done on its cooldown, make sure you get that activated up there and keep your damage absorption up as high as possible whenever you can. Of course, the trinket I've got right here is more beneficial for fire tanks. I ain't gonna lie. The extra 20% health that gives to fire tanks is kind of ridiculous. The extra 20% health for earth and ice tanks, it is helpful. However, having a trinket that would maybe increase our dominance instead for all the tanks, earth, fire, and ice would be a lot more beneficial towards and that way they wouldn't have to introduce like 3 different types of trinkets for each power set. But obviously you've got a tank trinket like that, make sure you use it. I usually end up clipping the animation with for the trinket with gemstone shield. You can also use other powers to clip the animations. I mean, there's lots of ways to clip your animations with another power. In pretty much all the trees. So I highly recommend you do that. I mean, it saves you time. Makes things a little bit quicker for you. Here we go. We're gonna have the Avatar Meta Boss fight now. We actually had some interesting issues with here. Right here, you'll see here shortly. One of which, I make a very big mistake by not paying attention to the attacks that are the Avatar is getting ready to do. Like you'll see right there, that little stomping thing he does. As soon as I made the mistake right there, as soon as I saw Gemstone was ready for me to cast again, I went to cast it, and totally did not think about the that doggone stomp attack of his. Fortunately enough, one of the NPCs, and I believe it was Lex right there, who came in and picked me up. Unfortunately, it cost my teammates a couple of downs right there. And okay, right here, I want to talk to you a little bit about something that happened here. One of our members, decided to be a little trollish and didn't pick up another member of the team here, and I'm gonna, just go ahead and say this right now. I didn't really appreciate that. I know the guy who didn't get picked up didn't really appreciate it. I mean, I enjoy doing PvE here and there with folks. It's it can be fun. You can sit there and we joke around and everything. Me and the majority of the guys in my league are very good at this game. Whether it's PvE or PvP. I'd say we're above average. At PvE. There's definitely other leagues out there that are a lot better at it than we are. But that being said, I mean, we can go in there, and we get the job done fairly easily. And so, we have a little bit of fun. However, joking around like that, that's just taking a little bit too far. And I know the guy who didn't get picked up was not happy about it in the least. as much fun as I do like I do have in PvE, joking around with everybody like that. My first goal with PvE is to just get it done and get it over with, so I don't have to worry about it again. I like to go back and I like the PvP, so I like to be able to go back and do that as quickly as possible. That being said, though, we just kept going out of here. Of course, FOS 2. You want to make sure that you're not using any movement mode when you're tanking or when you're doing this final boss fight with the Avatar meta. There, once again, I don't know what happened there. I'm pretty sure I got hit by that doggone tentacle. Fortunately, they were able to come in there and get me picked up again. And that's the thing too. The thing that kills me, by the way, my Earth tank right here. She's not under geared. She's got pretty decent gear. She's got good enough gear. I mean, I've been able to tank gates with no problem with her before. So it's just every once in a while, I mean, and it happens to me on my fire tank too. Every once in a while, I'll just get surprised by something I was not prepared for, and I end up getting one shot there. But that's it happens to everybody. So it doesn't really bother me that much. But what was I saying before? I was talking about getting back into PvP and just getting this PvE stuff done. I mean, my character right here, is pretty geared and very well, pretty well geared. I wouldn't say over geared for this raid. And in my opinion, still, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is still the hardest raid in the game, especially for pugs. We ended up doing gates later on last night, and it was just, and of course, a lot of us were on our mains, though. We got several people in here on their alts right now, or at least a couple. But, gates is a very easy raid compared to this raid. I don't know what it is. I mean, the only real difficult part of gates is the hallway that you have to go down after the first boss fight. After that, I mean, other than that, though, I mean, it's pretty easy. FOS 2 has got some very difficult parts, and especially for a pug group, or for a pug, and a pug group that has, maybe one or two inexperienced players, I mean, especially, crucial roles, like, you'll have, like a tank who doesn't know about, the bridge part, and you have to spend time, going over the plan, the best way to deal with that bridge. Same thing with the controllers in that area too, because you need to have that one, at least one controller over there pulling that one sentry on the outside off to make sure that that crystal doesn't get busted. But I mean, it's I mean, it's fun, but it can still be a pain in the butt. Right here, I'm not gonna lie, the guy who did not get picked up was pretty irritated with the guy who didn't pick him up, and he decided to teach him a lesson, and simply because I don't like screwing around in PvE. I like to get it done and get out. I'll admit, I joined in with that. It's just like I said, PvE is fun. It's part of the game. It's something we all have to do, especially if you want to get your feats done and get skill points and everything. But at the same time, it's not something I enjoy spending hours upon hours doing, especially on a single raid, which what FOS 2 used to be like for the longest time for some people, especially when it first came out. So yeah, I joined in kicking that guy out, and he was a league mate too. Probably not the coolest thing to do, but like I said, I really get irritated when people screw around in raids. I don't recommend you guys make a habit of doing something like that with your league, and especially with any pugs out there, because you'll get a bad rep real quick for it. Fortunately, though, I don't think we're gonna have to deal with anything like that again. Either that guy won't mess around anymore, or he'll just won't group up with us. It's one of those things. But that's going to wrap it up right here. I hope this helped you guys out. I'm sorry again it got out so late. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do so. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe.